Okay, so this is an apology video to Phil Gaimon. There was some banter recently online. This is I guess this is a bit of a follow-up video. So again, me and Cookie Man, we're on the same boat. We're cyclists. We like, minimizing car culture, riding bikes, getting on Strava, talking a bit of banter, a bit of trash talk and WWE style stuff like that. So apology to Phil. I didn't apologize to him in person. I just said, look, mate, we're on the same team. Let's just keep it good. I don't believe the times you're doing is just on cookies and water. That's just my opinion. I said that private. He lost his cookies in public on that one. So then I was like, okay, we'll do the WWE style back and throw. But look, I don't care if people are out there. I've got friends who use enhanced cookies. EPO. I've had people I know personally of EPO. I've raced against guys in EPO. I used to race in Belgium. I know what the deal is. I've got no problem with that at all. I've got no problem with it. I'm not the guy who's going to get a clean tattoo and then go and get a contract from a team ran by dopers, ex-dopers, or whatever you want to call them, and then be like, hey, my team's clean. It's like, and then be like, hang on, like, what? And then this whole stuff started. There's a guy in LA. All right, this video might be boring for some of you, but for you cycling nuts out there, this will be pretty interesting. Tune in. There's a guy out there on Strava. I won't mention his real name, but his Strava name is Forthin Sasquatch, and that's pronounced in Aussie language there. And so he got on the hot sauce. He tested positive, got busted, won some good races in the US. Big guy, big unit on a white checker Monda, on the rim breaker Monda. So he got some Strava KOMs, lit it up, launched it up, and then that got Phil all riled up. And so apparently, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, Phil started up this campaign. You can read the interview on Cycling News. I just read it a few days ago, actually Cycling Tips rather. And so Phil started up in this campaign where he's like, oh, that's wrong, dopers can't take KOMs on Strava. And I'm like, well, anyone can, as long as you're not motor pacing, as long as your data's not corrupt. I don't care if you're using EPO. If you want to take EPO for a Strava segment, good on you, whatever, That's just the risks you take. There is health risk of EPO. There's consequences. There's things like that. So if people want to do that, it's like the downhill Strava segment. If you want to risk your life doing 100k downhill, then you do that. I'm not. But if you do want to do that, then cool. I ain't gonna stand on the side of the road protesting or whatever, or just jump in a car and try and take your KOM downhill. Whatever. You take the risks, then that's you. You do that. You've earned it, really. If you want to be a downhill World Cup mountain biker, you have to be willing to really get, busted up. There's people out there who have big crashes and end up in wheelchairs. Downhill mountain bikers, motocross riders. There's pro cyclists who have horrific injuries. If you want to be a pro, you have to take the risks. I get that. So anyway, so there's this Forthin guy out there, takes the KOM, not full natty bra, and that gets Phil all riled up. Even though Phil's good mates with Tommy Danielson, Zabriskie, all the US Postal crew, all right? The guys who got famous from Lance Armstrong, US Postal, etc. Cannondale brand, famous from Cipollini, Casagrande, all the big hitters of the 90s made Cannondale what it is today, So the Fumic brothers and World Cup cross country. So this whole industry is founded on doping. Right? And I get that, I understand that, and I've got no issue with that. A lot of noobs out there go, oh, I want to see clean riding. It's like, come on, well, go and watch E-grade. If you want to see the gladiators, then gladiators take stuff to be gladiators. This is how it is. If I can watch the movie Gladiator, even the actors are on the gear. Jesus Christ, heck, people are naive. So anyway, so Phil got all triggered that, not that his friends and that were taking gear to get contracts and stuff like that, but that some random dude took some gear for a Strava segment. And so Phil wanted to say doping's wrong, blah, blah, blah. But Phil, why don't you go for, Tommy D's Strava times or Chris Horner's Strava times, etc.? Why don't you go for the... It seems like you probably could do that time now. The watts per kilo you did up Norton Summit, 6.89 watts per kilo. Let's have a look at what Dr. Coyle says about Lance Armstrong. So this is why these times are raising a lot of eyebrows. A lot of people out there going, I can do 400 watts. I'm 90 kilos. That's pretty good, man. Go down to 66 kilos. and do 455 watts for 11 minutes like Norton's. Or go and do the Gibraltar. Look at Phil's time on the Gibraltar range. Let's have a look at it here. Let's have a look at this time. It is insane. 435 watts at 66 kilos. And Phil's always super skinny. He's skinnier than Froome. 435 watts. Solo did a 29-minute up there. And Team Sky, Tour of Columbia, man, 27, it's just out of sight. And we look at Froome's physiology, his weight and stuff like that. He's lighter than Chris Froome, pushing more watts. And Chris Froome, some people have doubts about Chris Froome. Some people don't. Some people understand what the game is. It's just part of the deal, man. So So anyway, this is apology to Phil, bro. Don't take it to heart. You're riding watts per kilo that other riders in the past have done, aka Lance Armstrong. Now, Lance Armstrong never got tested positive. I can't say Lance Armstrong took enhanced cookies. I've got no proof of that. Lance never tested positive. Maybe he's just trolling, saying he did use it. I don't know. He never failed a drug test. Phil never failed a drug test, and neither did Lance Armstrong, and they're pushing the same watts per kilo for 20 minutes. So, and people say, it was 11 minutes. Well, if you can do 11 minutes that easy, and if you watch the video, he's attacking and surging, it's just like, oh man. And get to the top, I'll get to the top a few minutes afterwards, and it's like not even no redness, no flushing, just like, yeah man, what's cool? Yeah, whoa, where's the koalas? That ain't, for me, that ain't cookies and water. But that's just my opinion. Lance Armstrong, 6.8 watts per kilo. Some people believe that's possible natural. Some people believe it's possible natural for 20-minute FTP. Some people believe it's possible. And for those people out there who can't believe in miracles, then I have two riders for you, Cookie Man and Lance Armstrong, as living testimonies. Anyway, so if people want to take whatever, but I find it very hypocritical. I'm not the only one who finds it very hypocritical that Cookie Man would target Forfin's times on a climb in LA, but not target Chris Horner or Tom Danielson or other guys. And Chris Horner, what's wrong with Chris Horner? Chris Horner's never failed a drug test. Why the bias against Chris? What about Cardoso, the ex Gaimon rider? What about Ryder Hesjedal? Why aren't we going after those times? So it is very hypocritical that we're singling out Forfin Sasquatch, who's just having a joke on Strava, and I find it very hypocritical. Why? I mean, do you find it hypocritical? We can't say doping's bad. Oh, but you're my mate. I'll let that slide. I'll go after this guy instead. Come on. That's very hypocritical. It's very corrupt. And so that's what's causing a lot of discussion and the hypocrisy thing. It's like, well, if you're going to go after dopers on Strava, then you've got to go after all your old teammates, who are on Strava and go for their times. Because it would only be fair if you're really, anti-doping crusader on Strava with a Superman cape. Anyway, so that's just the deal. It's not a real issue. It's just cycling community. It's banter. It's whatever. It's no hard feelings there. I got no zero hate or whatever towards anyone out there. This is just banter. It's WWE out there. If people want to take EPO and travel around the world racing bikes or going up Strava times and creating hype, go for it, mate. It's not an issue for me. If you're gonna wear a clean tattoo and then say Tommy D is okay, but Forfin isn't, it's like, well, that's hypocritical. That's hypocritical. They're both bike riders. They're both have used the gas, and been busted for it. And one's okay because it's your mate, but the other one's some random guy. That's it's almost, it's bullying almost, isn't it? If your mate's doing the same thing and you say, oh, it's okay, he's my mate. Oh, you did that. Oh, it's the same as what my mate did, but I'm going to... No, come on, that's bullying. It's childish. And it's yeah. Anyway, it causes a lot of hypocrisy, and a lot of people are noticing. Not many people talk about it, but, maybe read some of the forums. So anyway, so that's an apology there. Just talking about it. Watts per kilo, that's the ultimate doping test, isn't it? Watts per kilo. And Greg LeMond said that. Dr. Ferrari said that the watts per kilo 20-minute test, that's the ultimate one. A lot of people say, oh, but the people do this, to 6.8 watts per kilo after 5 hours of racing. Yeah, but you have to be able to do that on fresh legs to be able to do that on tired legs. So if you can do it on fresh legs, then that's what Dr. Ferrari says. If you walk up to any pro team in the world and say, I can do 6.8 watts per kilo for 20 minutes fresh legs, they're going to go, who are you? Come and talk. What's going on? They're going to do some tests on you. They'll test your heart. They'll test your blood. They'll test a lot of things and go, this guy's got a crazy motor. This guy's got a Lance Armstrong motor. What's going on? So a lot of people are talking about how come, Cookie Man was sidelined on the bench by Jonathan Valdes throughout his career. Most of the races, he was just benched. And he would never really do well at all. He won a race, I think, Tour of Argentina stage. Won a stage there, but only because the guy in second place crashed out. He hit the brakes in the roundabout and crashed him out, which again caused a lot of controversy and hypocrisy there. But so this is a guy who was, couldn't win much or anything unless crashes were involved. It was constantly benched and never got another contract ever again. And now he's doing Lance Armstrong watts, So it's like, what? Like, what's going on? Do you have to have an FTP of 7 watts per kilo to get a pro contract these days? So anyway, that's the deal. No hard feelings. Generally no hard feelings. Not hating, just saying. Literally. I know I'll say that sometimes in trouble videos, but it's just literally just saying. It's unfair to target people who are on gear who aren't your friends, but then when they're on the, what's going on there? It's just, it doesn't, maybe 20-year-old noob eyes, if you're a new cyclist and you're on social media, oh wow, cool, who's fast, who's got followers, who do I follow? Maybe that's all sort of cool and that, but for the people who've used power meters or have had friends or, who've used EPO, etc., and they go, oh yeah, I see what's going down, I'll see what's going down. And again, I'm not here to judge anyone who's taken anything. If you're going to have a clean tattoo and do enhanced full natty bra watts per kilo, then I might send you a little message on Instagram and say, hey, come on, is that the appropriate tattoo to have? A Dove bar? I don't know. What do you think? Is it appropriate to have a Dove bar tattoo on your arm and have the same 20-minute FTP results as Lance Armstrong? Maybe we can get Lance Armstrong on the podcast and he can share his opinion. Anyway, thanks for watching. No hard feelings, genuinely. Watts per kilo is the ultimate test. Fresh leg test, watts per kilo. End of story.